Bienvenidos, Ushamdeen, and welcome Anne Arundel Community College learners from the Spring 2023 semester taking the CTS-233 Section 400 Network Programmability course. This is the Cisco Networking Academy's DEVASC 200-901 Certification Exam Preparation course. And in this lab, 3.6.6, we're going to be focusing our attention on Part 3. Now, Part 3 is extremely important because we're going to be working with JSON or JavaScript object notation in the future, a lot in this course. So the XML lab that we did previously, not a lot of XML in this course. The YAML, there's going to be a little bit of YAML, but JSON, there's going to be a lot of JSON. So let's go ahead and talk about what this lab is all about. Now, JavaScript object notation gets its name and some of the formatting of the data from JavaScript, but JSON is not a programming language. It is a markup language, if you will, or a data representation format, right? So it's a way to format data to present it to possibly, and what we're going to be using it for is what we receive back from REST APIs, or when we try to put or post data to an API server, we can do this using JSON format. And so this lab goes over those three different formats, XML, JSON, and YAML, to kind of give you a feel for what it looks like and how you might parse or go through the data and pick out the values that you're interested in. So let's go ahead and dive in here. Here we are in the command line. Again, you will need to be on the DEVASC virtual machine for the course in order to get the full effect of this lab. However, you probably could recreate something similar, at least the file that we're going to be parsing with the JSON data, on your own system. So if I was to cd into labs and devnet-src and then the parsing directory, this is where we'll find the 6 files that we're going to be working with in lab 366. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at my file .json, and let's see what we have in here. So as you can see, we have a JSON object, right? So let's kind of walk through what we've got going on here. Now, JSON data will typically come back in an object format. How do I know it's an object? Well, it's because of the curly braces that enclose the values that are here. And all of these values are simply key value pairs. So access token is the key. We separate the key value pairs with a colon, and then we have our we have our value here, right? And then you can see it kind of wraps around the screen. You have a comma, and then you have your next key and value pair. And so it shows you that here's the access token, it expires in, you've got your refresh token key value pair, and then again a comma separating the key value pairs, and then the last key value pair is refresh token expires in, and there you go. And it's that value in seconds. So we see these values here, these key value pairs. And when you look at this, this should immediately trigger, hey, that looks just like a Python dictionary. And in fact, that's what makes JSON so awesome when you're working with Python, is because it looks just like the native Python data structures, right? This is a dictionary. Now, I love this example because it's very simple, a few lines of code. What it doesn't have in here that you're going to see when we start to work with MapQuest is it doesn't have a JSON array, and a JSON array is nothing more than a Python list. Again, the way that we can parse this using native data structures in Python is to treat this like a dictionary. And if we were to see the brackets, right, like that, oops, sorry, not that. If we see the brackets like this, we could treat it like a list. And so we could iterate over it if we needed to, or we could index into the list to get the data. And so in this activity, we're going to create a really short script. I've already actually created it, so all we need to do is now go ahead and pull it up, and we're going to say parsejson.py. And so let's walk through this file line by line and talk about what's happening here. So the first thing is we're going to import the JSON library because there could be some methods in there that we want to use, like json.load. Or we're going to import the YAML library because we're going to do a YAML dump of the JSON data. In other words, we're going to dump the JSON data out into the YAML format. And so we import these two libraries, and then you've seen this before. We simply open the myfile.json file, again, the file that we just looked at with the JSON data. Now, the lab shows you doing a comma and an R here, but remember, opening a file, when you're using with open, our default is read. So we don't need to add in the comma with the R. We don't need to do that because that is the default. So we're going to leave it here like this. Now they have this JSON underscore file. I'm just going to put file. Sometimes you'll see just F. So we'll leave it like that. And it says RJSON in the lab. I just put JSON data, right? I think this is a little easier here. So JSON data. And what is JSON data going to get? Well, here's what happens. We open up this myfile.json. And remember, that is in JSON format. It looks just like a Python dictionary, but it's in JSON format. And so what do? Into this variable, JSON data, we're going to put or load that JSON information out of myfile.json. Because you see, we open it up here as a file object, and then what do? We basically load that JSON data into this variable called JSON data. And then we're going to print it out. So we'll print the JSON data out, and then we're going to parse the data. And so the first thing we want to parse is the access token is. Now, remember, we're using the string format method here because it's going to make it a little bit easier for us with the curly braces as placeholders. And so we say dot format, and what is it that we want to, what is it that we want to print, right, using this dot format here. And so remember, everything you see in here, and sorry, I wiped out some of the data there. Everything you see in there, we're printing the value. This is the placeholder, and this is what we're going to print. JSON data, right, that we loaded in from that file, and we are going to parse it and look for the key access token. Remember, with a Python dictionary, if the dictionary's name was JSON data, this is how we would find or access the value that the key access underscore token represents. And then the same thing is true down here, that this JSON data, and we parse that data, JSON data, looking for the key expires so that it would print the value here. And again, that's what's being printed in here are you can think of it as like the values that these keys represent inside the JSON data, which we're parsing as a Python, treating it just like a Python dictionary. And this is what makes JSON so great. And then we have here, again, we could have put 2 empty print statements and then a third with this, but why put 3 statements when we can knock it out in 1? And then we do the YAML dump. Now you might be wondering, what is YAML? Well, YAML just stands for yet another markup language because there's lots of markup languages out there. And again, it's just a data format. Just like JSON is a data presentation format, YAML is a data presentation format. It's just different ways that data can be, you could represent a router, all of its interfaces and IP addresses in a YAML file. You could do the same thing in a JSON file. So again, it's just different formats, different ways of representing the same information. Now, we're going to use the YAML library and the dump method of that library, right? And what is it that we're going to do here? It basically is going to dump the JSON data into YAML format. And so ultimately, we're parsing up here and pulling out 2 values we're interested in. And then this just simply shows you that if you have data in a JSON format, that is how easy it is to print that exact same data out in YAML format. Because maybe you want to get it into YAML format. For whatever the case may be, for whatever reason you might have, you may want to put it in YAML format. So let's go ahead and run this. Let's open up the file. Let's load that JSON data from that file into the JSON data variable. And then we have an object that's got the JSON data. We're going to print that data out. We're then going to parse that data to pull these two values out. And then we're going to put some two carriage returns and 3 dashes, which typically, again, this is not required, but typically with YAML, you will see YAML files begin with 3 dashes, right? Excuse me. And then we're going to dump that JSON data out into YAML format. So what does that look like? So let's go ahead and say, and I think I've already got it here. Oh, and I do not. So we're in the same lab. So I'm just going to say Python 3 and parsejson.py. And there it is. So here's the JSON data, right? So, and again, it's always good to have a print statement if you're trying to figure things out, is maybe print that data out. And then you can see, oh yeah, so if this was a Python dictionary, here is the first key value pair. So if I want the access token, I would put in the name of the dictionary. In our case, that's just that variable name, JSON data. So JSON data, open bracket, access token, close bracket. And that's going to give me the value, which is this key right here, which is really long and it wraps around the screen. And then the same thing is true if I wanted to see when that key expires, right? So here's the key. So I'd use the dictionary name, open bracket, expires_in, and then close bracket. And that's going to give me that time. The refresh token, right? So there's when the refresh token is going to hit. And so what do we see? So here it is. The access token is that, right? And that's that access token. That's how we parsed in there, how we kind of filtered through the data to get what we wanted. And then the token expires in 1,000, or what is this? 1,209,600 seconds, 209,600 seconds. So that's the data. So now let's kind of extend this, right? And that's cool, but let's make sure that we totally understand this. So if I was to say myfile.json, and we take a look at that data again here, we can see that we have 2 values that we didn't sneak in there and print out. And one was the refresh token, and one was the refresh token expires in. So how would we add to our JSON portion, not dumping it out as YAML? And you can see down here, this is where our YAML data begins. So now I could take this and run off and provide that to whatever program I needed to in YAML format. But let's see, can we parse out that data right there? Well, let's go back into our parsejson.py, and you can see here, if I was to just pull that statement and dump it twice, I can say the refresh token is, and I don't need seconds there. We're going to pull the format right up next to it here, like that. And then it's JSON data, and the name of it was refresh token, right? The key, the name of the key, oops, sorry. The name of the key was refresh token. I believe, I'm going to probably have to double check that real quick. So I think it's refresh token. And then I think this is refresh token expires in. And so let's go ahead and say the refresh token expires in. And we would go, so think of this as like your dictionary name, right? JSON data, and then I put in the key to get the value. And I think it's refresh token expires in. Well, let's run this and see what happens. Yeah, refresh token expires in and refresh token. I think we may have nailed it here. All right, so now if we rerun this, right, we've parsed out 2 additional values from that JSON data. And here it is. The refresh token is, and the refresh token expires in. So see if you can go ahead and add that to your parse JSON parsing file, that to the parsejson.py Python module, and see if you can parse out that additional data. So let's go ahead and cat out parsejson.py, and there is my ending script. All right, well, that is going to wrap up part 3. In part 4, we're going to parse YAML data in Python. So we've done XML, we've done JSON, and and now we're going to go in and parse some YAML data in part 4. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.